You feel motivated or excited to accomplish new tasks when you love your work, right? So I'm willing to bet you probably don't love Instagram as much, and it feels a lot less like work and a lot more like just another thing on your marketing to-do list that you don't want to do. If that sounds like you, keep watching because we're going to be talking about an anti social media marketing plan. So that way you can stay ahead of the curve and stop putting all your eggs in one basket, just relying on social media when you can rely on other things that are not just Instagram. So, with that being said, let's get started. Hi, my name is Amanda. I've been a social media manager for 5 years, and now I help clients with digital organizing their business and the operations behind the scenes. And then also, I help them with their marketing as well. So, marketing strategy, organization, getting those systems behind the scenes all gathered up nice and tidy. So, if you have any questions and you want to work with me, all my links are going to be below. But with that being said, let's get started. So, full disclosure, I haven't really filmed any videos just because I was had some personal things and then also just didn't feel well, and so I took the time to just write out the blogs of like content that I really want to film, and I think that is would be really important on YouTube. And so basically I'm just going to connect this video to the blog. So if you want to um see this video, then by all means watch this full video, but you can also click the blog post below in the description, and then you can just read it really fast too if that's type of person that you are, like me. Okay, with that being said, it's like, why do you need an anti-social media strategy to promote your business? Number one is social media is changing. It's not what it was back in the day. So if you go and Google and you can search this, there's a tons of people talking about the fact that social media, you do not see your friends and followers post. You're seeing other people's content that you might have engaged with, but it's related to the topic of whatever it is that you liked or you engaged with. So for instance, if you looked up wedding content, they're probably gonna send you other wedding content, right? But let's say that wedding's already over and planned, you're probably going to type in something about buying a house or things like that. So then that they're going to show you like real estate and like all these other things that are related to that. So social media is very much like SEO focused. Like I said, it's changed from what it was before. And social media is much more, especially Instagram, I'm talking about specifically, but it's much more like entertainment. People go on there to doom scroll, to like just do something that is not so much as like productive, but they just want to be entertained and maybe learn a few things here and there, right? So this is why I'm really encouraging my clients to start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, start a blog, because that type of content is going to be where people want to actually get more information. Sorry, my cat is over here. Um, so I think the biggest thing is definitely just to think about the fact that social media has changed a lot, and I'm going to have stats in this blog post. If you want to go ahead and click on that as well, it's super important. Basically, what I'm saying is that if you have 10,000 followers, your followers are not even seeing your content. And so this is kind of a disservice to you because you spent so much time trying to get 10,000 followers, right? Because people are looking at content based on like what they're searching for, and the algorithm is sending them that type of content that they might like as well. So if you have 10,000 followers, they're not even seeing your content. And so that means that you need to market a different way than other people, right? And so this is where I'm going to go into. But just like a personal side note is like I stopped posting on Instagram for 4 months this year. And the biggest thing that I learned was how to figure out ways to grow my business without Instagram posting. So I started going on Facebook groups. I started emailing past clients like, hey, like I know I should have been doing that before, but like, hey, this is a service that you might utilize. And those people did sign up with me because they've already worked with me in the past. And I'll have some more stuff in the blog, but basically I was just consistent with emails. And then, I created this YouTube channel, and then I'm also starting a summit which is going to be really cool. It's a virtual summit for marketers. But I think that's the biggest way to stand out is like, how can you do other things that do not involve Instagram? It's like hosting podcasts, going onto YouTube, doing email marketing and things like that. There's so many ways, and also I'm going to link them below. But the other thing I want to talk about really quickly is, if you guys have been in the social media world for a while, I think it was like, I forget the exact time, but Lush, I'm pretty sure you guys might have heard of this, but they are like a bath line. It's kind of like lotions, bath bath bombs and things like that. But it's really big brand, and they actually quit social media a few years ago. It was amid the whole social media, or basically Meta, how they would target girls who had self-esteem issues, and they would just feed them ads like for beauty and aesthetics and stuff like that. And so it was very controversial, but I will link that article in the blog post, so if you want to go ahead and skip it. But basically, because of their values, Lush decided to stop promoting or stop posting on Instagram and Facebook. So with that being said, they're still alive, they're still selling products and stuff. And so they found other ways to market, not on social, like using Pinterest, YouTube, influencer marketing, collaborations, and, events and things like that. So I think it's really cool that they stood up for their values. And I see a lot of people right now that are kind of like in between of like, I don't really want to be on social media as much because of the controversies that have happened due to like advertising and target audience and everything. So whatever the values that you hold, you might just not want to be on social media as much. So one of the biggest things that I have gotten, because I've been marketing this, you know having people not have an anti-social media plan, basically. And one of the biggest like kind of backlashes is like, oh well, what you're saying is not doesn't mean it's anti-social media. And then, like, yeah, I agree, it's not you know, anti social media in the way that you're thinking, but the same, like, for instance, YouTube and Pinterest is more SEO based versus Instagram. You're still going to have followers and things like that. And you still want to engage so that way people can see your content. So with YouTube and Pinterest, that doesn't apply, right? You don't really have to do that community sense of it. But yeah, so Pinterest and YouTube, they're so different when you upload, because it's not as fast paced as like when you post something there. It takes time for it to get noticed and things like that, versus Instagram and Facebook. You could post something and at least 10 people are gonna like it within the next hour, right? Depending on how many followers you are and things like that. But social media is so fast compared to like a YouTube or Pinterest. But that's something that I just want to go ahead and talk to you about. But I think the biggest thing is like mapping out how you can market your business online. Like, it really depends on who your audience is. It depends on how much money and how much time do you have. So for instance, if you're going to go into building a website, and because you don't have a website, that's going to take time, depending on, are you going to DIY it, or are you going to hire it out, have somebody else do it for you, right? Again, depends on your budget and things like that. If you want to do email marketing, do you have an audience already? And then can you leverage getting their emails from social media and then just start, marketing towards them? Or maybe what you can do, if you have a social media presence already, is start running ads to go to a freebie email opt-in, like a really low ticket offer, and just get them on your list. Like, the whole point of running the ad is not to sell to them, but it's just to that way you have a list of people who are interested in what it is that you have to offer. So that's another way. If um you want to start creating a YouTube channel, something that's like evergreen content, you just have like a playlist of your content that people are looking, like for instance, if you're in home decor, you can start creating an evergreen list for like um playlist for Christmas or summer home decor and things like that. So it's going to be really dependent like I said on what your whole game plan and things like that. But I'll have some other ideas in the blog post of what you can do that does not rely on um, just using social media. So, for instance, like using Pinterest, using virtual events, partnerships with people who are in your community. So, for instance, if you're a real estate agent, partnering with small businesses that um, excuse me, that are in your area where people might be looking to buy, right? Or for instance, if you're really like to run in your social and you're um, a real estate agent and then you run an event that's about running. Like that would be a really cool partnership because it's like you're basically marketing yourself, but you're not being like super hard selling about it, right? So if you start a running club in your area and then people just start to recognize you as a realtor and then you also have a running club, like that's one, really good branding, and two, it's an offline strategy. Like the biggest thing I'm saying is like just try to find other ways to market your business that are offline. Like you can still use social media and that's totally fine, but just start. I think my whole thing is like start to get your business running where there's another offline strategy that's working that doesn't rely on just social media. So if you take anything away from that, please let that be it. Sorry, guys, my video got cut off. But with that being said, if you want specific support on trying to figure out, okay, like how do I actually how do I plan this out like an offline business strategy? I can help you do this. If you book a mini marketing intensive with me, we'll talk about your goals, your target audience, your budget, your time, and then figure out what is an offline marketing strategy that works for you. Because at the end of the day, this is going to be really important. Even with the age of AI, I think a lot of people are going to gravitate more towards local businesses because they're just not there might not be that much trust in online, and people want to work with people that they know, right? And so local businesses, I think this is especially important. Or even if you don't have a local business, like how can you figure out a way, like for instance, if you're um a teacher, a tutor, and you can work with people from um any country, like if you're a Spanish teacher, right? Like how do you market yourself if not on social media, if that's how you get your clients, right? You can partner with other tutors and things like that, or you can create an email list teaching people about blah blah blah, right? And so I don't want to get too much into it, but yeah, so if you just need help with creating a marketing plan that does not involve social media, feel free to book a mini marketing intensive. And this is going to be really key, especially because this is like your livelihood. You can't rely on something that might not even exist 10 years from now, right? So with that being said, I feel like I'm talking a lot. So yes, book that. And if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram or you can email me as well. I hope you have a great day. Thanks.